So is it good here or in the inside?
I like it there actually.
There?
I think
Okay.
it's nice. You feel comfortable?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I feel that when people see other people dancing tango and they see the embrace and the couple in that meditation state, they can see an intimacy that is more going towards the sexual and sensual energy instead of more of support and companionship. So I think there is a misconception on tango seen as a sexual dance and a sensual dance rather than a complicity dance, a support, companionship, understanding dance. So I definitely think that can be changed and people can come and try out these other aspects of tango. Just not the sensual part and the leg, rubbing against each other's leg. That is not tango, or that is not how it should be considered. It's more behind that. But anyone can learn tango, anyone, like a language.
I don't know, you haven't seen me yet.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm just setting up our Sunday afternoon practicas. There's an opportunity for our members, part of the Melbourne Tango community, to come and practice what they've learnt. So it's a very social event, it's very casual, it's not the full formal milonga where everybody dresses up to the nines and tries to, well, not tries, but is out there for a good night, all dressed up and so on. This is more a casual event where people come along, meet others, spend time practicing, and at the end we quite often go for a drink or a meal.
I came to Australia and lived here for 20 years, and then I left my wife and I came up to the city to live. And saw an advert for tango. And I said, well, I don't know how to do that dance. I know how to do quick steps and foxtrots, but I don't know how to do a tango. I'll go and see somebody teach me that. And then when I got there, thinking I was going to learn a little ballroom dance, I heard all the wonderful music, an enormous variety of marvellous music, and of course I fell in love with it. And then I took some lessons, and then I went on the internet and I watched it and so on, and I dreamed up my own way of dancing it, copying the way they appear to dance it in Buenos Aires. So I dance it up against the woman, and I fully embraced the dance. Many people don't do that here, but that's how I like it. And also it's wonderful music. There's such a variety of music, you can never get tired of it.
Music's a big part of it.
That's the main thing. That and the connection with people. The tango is different from what they do in ballroom dancing. Have a look at the ballroom dancing, it'll make you laugh.
In what sense?
If you don't cry, it's horrible. It's a stylized nonsense.
Tango is not really happy with just a little bit of you. You can't kind of, over time, it just wants more and more and more of you. And because of the emotional you know, the lyrics, the music, the nostalgic aspect, it brings up emotion. It brings up your own longing, your own desires, your own... It can touch you quite deeply, and I think the longer you're in it, the longer it, well, the more it kind of draws up from you.
Yep.
Would you agree with that as well?
Yes, I'll explain how it was explained to me a long time ago. Tango is about two people, two bodies connecting up, one body, four legs. In that sense, then you become connected, and then you enter a state of flow with each other. There is no time, there is no space. You just are together. It doesn't matter what steps are, it doesn't matter. It's what matters is you are together, and there's this feeling of just flowing, being. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't.
So
But it's a possibility.
The addictive nature is sometimes you flow, sometimes you don't flow.
And the seeking for that is, once you've had a taste of it, it's like, okay, well, how do I get there again? And it's not always there. Sometimes we're, you know, emotionally unaligned, or things are not always, they don't always get to that. That's sort of an ideal that, you know, you can end up in a cycle of seeking.
Yep, you seek it, but whether it's there or not, that's up to the gods. That's up to the gods.
Oh, well, I fell in love with tango because I heard a lot of music coming out of Buenos Aires after 2000. So that was a re-emergence of acoustic tango music, and it kind of connected to my childhood where my family played stringed instruments and chamber music, and I thought, well, this is acoustic chamber music, but it sounds completely different, and it's got a really rough edge to it, and it's homemade almost, DIY. So I became really captivated by that. It was very powerful, very rhythmic, very, very raw, and very, very intriguing, and something, I'd never heard anything like it. So I fell in love with the music, and I eventually lived in Buenos Aires for a while to learn, and then took lessons, and became involved in the going out to see music and learning about the city, which is of course where tango music is from. It's a city, it's an urban music from Buenos Aires. I came back to Melbourne and started playing music and working with other musicians to form a tango scene in Melbourne.
Cool. And more importantly, what kind of tea have you got on offer?
Well, well, Guy, we've got we've got some beautiful Earl Grey I can make you if you like. Do you take honey?
Sure, sounds great.
Just grab some honey for you. Look, I think tango music and tango dance it's one of the great dance traditions of the early 20th century, and it was, a really popular form of entertainment and going out for people in times before digital media and before television, before modern popular culture. So it sprung up as a way for people to go out and to enjoy themselves. And of course back then in the early 20th century, people danced to live musicians because that was just the way that you could make music. There were no DJs, there were no phonographs or vinyls, or that were sound systems that were powerful enough to fill a large venue. So musicians were very, very important in terms of the dance, and the music that they played was danced to. So it was a total symbiotic relationship. The jazz big band tradition and swing dancing was just as important in that way for North America. So they both evolved in divergent ways. So really, the sort of swing rhythm has it has a lot of similarities, and even in early jazz there's a Spanish tinge which took a lot of rhythms from Latin America. I think the main difference between swing and tango is that, well, let's see, I can show you on the piano if you like, but so if you think of like a Spanish tinge tune, say by Jelly Roll Morton, one of the early pianists who played a lot of solo music for dancers, swing really accents the offbeat of the eighth note, and the Spanish tinge accents the and, you know, the and of one. It kind of divides the bar into three, so the rhythm would be something like. So the rhythm would be. It's based on this habanera, or sometimes they called it the tango rhythm. So that's the tango, according to Jelly Roll Morton. And the tango from Argentina was, I think, really based on really clearly outlining the beat of the bar, still in 4/4 in the same key. Tango dancing is a lot more intimate. It has a less light feeling, but it pushes and pulls the beat once that beat's established. So it doesn't syncopate the beat like jazz does. So a tango, essential tango rhythm. It's just very, very, very basic, but then playing with that while people are dancing enables them to improvise when they're tango dancing, when they know when to step. They step on the beat. So that's the tango. So tango is, you know, works in this sort of way.
El tango es un lenguaje que, bueno, no solo como desde el lugar de la danza, desde los mismos temas que toca en la música, ¿no? Nos habla de, yo diría, de temas que no tienen fecha de vencimiento, ¿sí? Nos hablan del amor, nos hablan de la nostalgia, nos hablan de la vida, de los amigos, de la tristeza, del barrio, de la ciudad. Entonces, estos temas son los que han permitido, yo creo, que haya perdurado hasta hoy.
Allá de que sea por algo que tiene muchos años, por una danza que ya lleva muchos años desarrollándose, a mí me gusta más que se vea por el lado que es una danza que te permite a ti una comunicación, que para mí personalmente es una danza que involucra mucho romanticismo, mucho amor, mucha educación, mucho respeto a la otra persona independientemente de su raza, de su género, de sus gustos, de lo que sea. Entonces me gusta más que realmente se conciba el tango como, más allá que como un baile, como un estilo de vida o como un concepto diferente de ver a las otras personas y ver las diferentes culturas. Es poesía, es amor, es el entender sin hablar, el entender al otro solo con las intenciones, con la energía. Entonces es todo el entorno que involucra para mí el tango.
Do people sometimes take it too seriously?
Yeah, they do. Yes, that is true. And perhaps that's related to their concept of tango in its entirety. Some people do tend to see tango, and especially the social gatherings of tango, needing to be an exact replica of what it might have been in Buenos Aires, where tango was born, and so, you know, if they're not going to go along to a milonga that has less than that, you know, so they seek that sort of standard. At the same time, you know, tango evolves, it changes, and even in Buenos Aires, the milongas are not the same as they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago.
Who should never dance the tango? Is there anyone who should never dance?
Who should never dance? Maybe people that they feel jealousy. If they are jealous, it's going to be very hard for both of them. Like for the person that is jealous, because you will see he or she will see like the partner dancing with many people around, and it will be hard for the dancer as well, because, you know, yeah, I would say that's a big topic.
Do either of you get jealous when you see each other dancing with another partner? Has that ever been a part of it? Or no?
Absolutely not. No. Sometimes I'll just say, why don't you dance with her? So, well, just let me do whatever I want or dance with whoever I want to dance with. So, but she looks interesting. Do you want me to go and just ask her to dance with you? No, absolutely not. And I just do personally, I love if somebody says, do you know, your husband is the best dancer, or something like, you know, or everyone will come and say, oh, can I dance with him? Be my guest.
There can be many conflicts in which you don't understand why people is acting like what they are. And you can see all that in the social dance, and you can see people fighting, and, you know, you bump into me. Why did you bump into me? People kicking each other. Why are you kicking each other? You know, it's like understanding all this and be compassionate and understanding would be great, because it would avoid a lot of like fights and conflict.
Is there this weird, almost like dreamlike fantasy element to tango, do you think, at times, where you almost like enter a fantasy world where you can escape the mundanity of everyday life?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, that exists. I think people come and they feel that they can actually be still themselves, but maybe something more, and really play out that role. I see that quite often.
What is it? Yeah, I think the connections. The connections are really important for me. This activity is something that is teaching me a lot. It's teaching me a lot, and it's awakening me. So I don't think we'll change it. I hope more things are added to it instead of I have to change it, because that would be super hard for me to change the dance. Yeah.
Could anything replace tango for you?
Not exactly, no. That couldn't happen.
The feeling, the connection with, at that moment in time.
Why? Because I think when you go to dance tango, you get proximate to another person, and then you shut them out. You don't speak anything else more than language body through the music. And it's kind of a meditation, I will say. It's kind of like a mystical connection. Sometimes you dance with someone and you don't really know the name. You don't know the history of this person. You don't know the origins, what's going to be in the future. You don't know nothing, but it's just that in that moment starts the music, you come closer, and then you feel if you connect or not.
It's an escape from the real world. It gives me a safe space where I can express myself. Maybe I don't have to be the macho guy that sometimes I have to be. I don't have to be the hero that must be for my children, or I don't have to be the boss that I have to be in my team. It just gives me this space where it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you do in your life, doesn't matter how rich you are, you just enjoy this and you live for that moment at that point in time.
If you had to try and sum up the spirit of tango for you both in one word, could you do it?
Para mí, amor.